Yeah, guys, wait, within 2 minutes I will be starting. For the people, those who wanted to join live streaming, for them only yeah, waiting, but we can't wait anymore. So within 2 minutes I will be starting the session. Wait, guys. Okay, guys, let me start the session. A very good morning to you all. And you might remember what we have learned in the last class. That means it was about logo designing. So in our second session, we was learning about logo designing and the branding. So I was explaining about the branding and logo designing because that is important for the photographer to become a professional. And when we are becoming a professional photographer, so we are the brand, and also to get market and to get famous in the market. So you'll be needing a logo, and also you'll be needing to we will be needing something uniquely to place in the market. So that's why I told you to create logos and all. So you people might design a logo. Fine, that's okay, that's fine. And today we are going to learn something new and also so related to the professional photography and also, and then we will be learning photo editing also, as I told you. So I'll be learning photo editing. So in mobile photography sessions, I will be focusing completely editing photos in an uh, mobile phone. By using mobile phone, we'll be learning how to edit photographs in mobile photography. But in in this course and also here, we'll be learning how to edit an image to Photoshop, and what are the other softwares available in the market. And usually, what are the softwares getting used by the photographers, professional photographers? So all those things will be explained by myself, and also you'll be getting an experience, and also you people will start using those softwares. Okay. So Sumya, only you have joined. That's okay, fine. So others, let others, they will be joining through recording, session recording. So that's okay. That's totally fine. And okay, so we'll see. The first day I was showing this presentation, and I have given, and also I gave some rough knowledge about this presentation and what we'll be learning this only. I was okay. So may gabi mo kod ginagaan ni kila mang general idea kag dun na. Okay. So I gave one general idea on this presentation. So we're gonna learn, and also I'm gonna explain you briefly. So as I told you, the photography was introduced in black and white. So initially, so and we all know photography is a drawing or an art by using light. So we are capturing emotions and also we are recording stories and everything. When you are a photographer, you are like an emotional stories. So you people can show emotions of others. Okay. So and then I taught you and also I was explaining about the lenses and how lenses are getting lights and how we are capturing an image. So I told you about the digital camera and pixel. I told you. So when a picture is pixelating, when a picture is getting when a picture is getting pixelated, that is an raster graphic. So usually when you use a camera to take a photograph, so those digital photos are getting pixelated because the photos are capturing through pixels. The quality measurements and everything, the quality measures in pixels. So that's why. Okay, so and then I was explaining there are three types of photography. So that I told you, but it was not uh, I was not demonstrating these, and also I was not demonstrated this briefly. Okay, so the basic styles of photography. There are compositions, there are cameras, and there are lightings, and there are basic things to capture a picture. Rather than that, there are basic styles, okay, which can make your photographs and where you can use your photographs professionally. So that is more than enough, right? So everyone can learn photography, everyone get to know about photography, anyone can take photographs, and also anyone can get photography skills. But not everyone gonna make it as a profession, and also not everyone are not going to use their photographs professionally for a job or either for a useful thing. So when you learn something, as I told you before, when you learn something which is professional, when you learn a knowledge which can be changed or upgraded into a job, because rather than just learning in the first class, I was telling that. So rather than just gaining knowledge and just learning and also just being in sessions, so you have to work on it, and also you have to do even a simple job by using a knowledge. That's what I want. So for that only we are learning these basic styles of photography. So we learn in brief. The first type of photography is a landscape shoot. So that means in your slide, as I mentioned, so landscape is a photograph of environment. It could be the forest, mountains, oceans, or a backyard. So something that means an background or an environment. Okay, so there are pictures, and also there are most of the photographers they got famous, and also their pictures got viral because they have shooted something or they have captured something in a landscape preview. Because in a landscape preview we can shoot everything. That means we'll say, so in a backyard, so there are some engines or something, so for a marketing perspective or marketing purpose, so someone needing a picture of it. So just when they are using their mobile phones and they can use their cameras, digital cameras, that is what the landscape preview. Because you can use a landscape image everywhere and anywhere. That means we say you are taking a picture of a mountain or either a forest. Okay, we'll say you can post it anywhere, so that is not restricted or either that is not having any limitations. So when it's come to portrait or documentary, when it's come to a portrait shoot, so or a portrait photograph, that might be a person's photograph or either an individual's photograph. So you won't be able to use that in everywhere. So there are situations and also there are places to be used. So, but landscape is not like that. So you can use these pictures anywhere. So that is what the benefit of landscape photographs. And when it's come to documentary, so let's make compare also. We'll compare that also. That is totally based on a story, right? So pictures that you are using in a document or documentary pictures or photographs, so that might have a story. So you have to attach those documentary photographs or pictures. You have to attach with the particular story. So without that, people won't be getting anything, and also we people, but for the people that won't be attractive. Okay, so landscape, and here some other. Okay, so photographs of Ansel Adams. So you can see, you might know about him. So fine. So this is also an landscape photograph. So which been taken a mountain and also covered a river also. So and also what is a landscape photography? Okay, the paragraph also I have mentioned that. So landscape photography is a photograph of outdoors. It could be of the land, water, or building. So whatever. So whatever the environment and the background. So you can take a landscape picture. That means in a horizontal view, that is what the landscape. So if you needing notes, and also if you needing anything to be noted, so we'll be providing the session recording. So through the session recordings, you can screenshot my slides, or either you can note it down uh, by pausing the video. You can. Okay, so in live streaming you won't be able to, so I'm moving little faster because we have to cover everything. Okay, and also we have limited sessions, and in between that we have to cover a large part, so that's why. So I'm moving little faster. Okay, so and then um what do you see in your landscape photographs? So I have explained that. So I was explaining. So here there is only one person. So can you, can you replay for this question? So what you see in a landscape photograph then? You can unmute your mic, or either you can drop me a chat in chat box. You are not going to ask, or not going to replay. Okay, fine. So we'll move to the portrait photography. So portrait photography is a photo of a person or an animal, as I told you. So, so that means, so you won't be um you won't be able to use anywhere every situations. So there are some certain situations, and also there are some certain places where you can use portrait photography. So if it is a photograph of a person, you have to have the permissions and all. There are privacy and policies, and also copyright issues. There are, right. So that's what. It is important to show an emotion. That means that might be an emotion of an animal, or either an emotion of a human. So you have to show an emotion in a portrait photography. Okay. So like we'll say when you're capturing. and deer, so that might be scared. Okay, so you can capture while a beard is in scared. So that means or either a person who is angry or laughing happy, or either sad, or you have to capture an emotion when you take a portrait photograph. Okay, so there are other emotions also, right? So here are some. Okay, so portrait shots, you can will say. So there's a horse that is. It's like it seems like it is so sad, and also the girl, okay, who is in the picture in the portrait photo. So she's also she's thinking about something, and she's confused or something. She's on an emotion. Okay, so. There are some differences, and also there are some similarities also, right? There are some similarities, and also there are some differences also in between these two pictures. Okay, for the comparison only, I have shared these images. So we'll say in this picture. Okay, so both the similarity is both the pictures having a living being. That means the right side you do have a host that also a living being, and also the left side you do have a human, also a living being, right? So that's what the similarity. So the main similarity between these pictures, and also the differences. Okay, so since what the difference? So that means a human do have when a person is taking a portrait shoot or a photograph, human knows they're taking a capturing a photo of them, and also they will get ready, and also they will give a pose or something. But animals are not like that. It don't have sixth sense, and also it don't have any it cannot sense like this person is going to take a photograph, so we have to give a pose or something. So that is what the difference. And a human, when it's come to a human, so okay, they know they can act, and also they know how to change emotions. So as we want, as a photographer needs, they can change their emotion when for an example, even though people are sad, so when we are going for a function, so when we are taking pictures, when photographer telling to laugh or smile a little, so they will, even though they are not smiling really, but they will smile, a fake smile. Mm, At least there will be a fake smile. Okay, but animals are not, it did not act. So that is what the difference. So there are multiple differences which we can go. Okay, and then portraits. Okay, uh, there are okay possibilities. Okay, portraits can be the whole body. Okay, so most of the photographers, and also most of the people who take the professional photography, and also for professional photography researchers, so they are some people, they are telling a portrait shot must be covering a face of a human, or either half away of the body, so or either animals somehow they are telling like it cannot be a whole body picture. But there are some people, and also some researchers, and also in my perspective also, you can shoot a portrait shot or a photograph of a whole human body. Okay, so you can shoot a person's whole body, but the the object or the person or the animal which is in your who or which is in your photograph must be fully covered or fully covering the background, like we'll say. So if there is white spaces or backgrounds or foregrounds, so that won't be a perfect portrait shoot, because when you cover a human face as in this picture, so this is fully covering the background, and also the object or the animal or the human is fully covered the frame, right? But in this not like that. Okay, um frames are not filled with the object, but uh, the human, and also the girl and boy, so they are fully covered. So that means the portrait shots, guys, you have to cover the frame fully. When you take a human's body or a face or even an eye, you have to cover the frame fully, completely. You have to cover it. That is what important. So, and then what is a portrait photography? A portrait photograph is a picture of a person or animal that shows an emotional connection. So, as you know that. Okay, what are some ways you can make a portrait photograph creative and different from everyone else? So that means, guys, we'll say, so when you take a photograph of a human or an animal, so like you to make that attractively, to make that attractive, so you can let them to be in an emotion. So we'll say, we cannot judge an animal's emotion, but when it's come to human, we can, right? So we can we'll say, so rather than yeah, rather than um, letting the portrait models to be acting, so you can make them really into an emotion. So by making them happy or either easily you can make them angry. So and also you can make a person easily to be sad, right? So it is what the human psychology. So we cannot make a person much easier to be happy, and also you cannot make a person's face really happy that much easier. But when it's come to yeah, when it's come to a facial expression or sad or anger, okay, so you can make anyone to become angry or sad easily, as you know. And then we'll go for the documentary. Okay, so we'll go for the documentary images. So document photography presents a fact without changing anything. Good documentary photographs make you wonder that the story behind the photograph. So that means what is the story behind the picture? So in the picture given, okay, so in your screen, so that is showing like a poor mother, so and her children, right? It's showing like she's expecting something, she's waiting for something. So like it wandering some stories, right? So people who would viewing these images and who are seeing these images, they will easily get to know about a story. Then they will understand something from through this picture. So that is what important for a documentary. Okay, so and then when it's come to okay stories, so the first picture shows that is an okay, someone is struggling for a win and also to win the match or to won the match. They are trying, they are struggling, they are fighting. So that is also a story. And also some poor kids in the other picture, there are some poor kids, they were happy. That means they are happy without anything even. So in the picture, as you see, they are not rich kids, and also they don't have anything. Yeah, even sometimes they might not having a house even. But even though they are happy, okay, so like that, you might be able to describe a story, or either there will be a real story behind a picture. That is what a documentary photograph. So when you used to take a documentary picture, so there might be a reality story in behind the picture for it. Okay, so where you do find documentary photograph? So that means in newspapers, magazines, books, internet, everywhere. That means in a newspaper, when okay, so even though the people and journalists, when they are not a- able to take a real photograph of an incident, they will use to create cartoon images, and they'll use their graphical knowledge to create that, right? So that would have a story, and also rather than reading the paragraph, people will get to know, and also people will be gaining knowledge and get to know about the incident clearly when they are seeing a picture. Okay, so when we are seeing a video, that is much clear, but more than that, a picture shows everything for the people who are okay. So people who are uh, seeing the picture, so they will get a story and also get to know about the story, or without reading the paragraph, they will get to know what has happened. So through the pictures and magazines, you all know. So when people used to, okay, so design a magazine, there might be a lots of documentary images. So without documentary photographs, they won't be able to print a single magazine even. Okay, in books, in your school textbooks, and on internet, you can find, when you search documentary photographs on Google, you will got lots of images with the stories. Okay, so even though there was not any paragraphs or something for explain the image, so you will get a knowledge, or you will get to understand the photograph and the story behind the photograph easy. So document photographs can be either landscape or portrait. That means we'll say, so there is no any rules for a documentary picture. Okay, so you can cover a story, or either or some situations, or some people's life stories through a picture. So okay, to show someone's life story through a picture. So that might be a landscape or either portrait. There is no any rules to take documentary pictures in portrait only, or either in landscape preview only. Okay, you can take portrait as well as landscape images when it comes to documentary photographs. Okay, what is documentary photography? So you have to know this, because when people are okay having an idea to become a journalist, and also when people want to make their knowledge to be useful to the society, so documentary photographs are very important, because a journalist, okay, will describe a paragraph. When a photographer is the journalist means, so he know how to take photographs, okay, for his story. Okay, even though the paragraph he write, okay, so without the paragraph even, he will be able to explain everything in a single picture. So that is what. So documentary photograph. So for a journalist, that will very useful for the to make their knowledge into a professional skill. That's why in media, so they are requiring, and also they are asking some people to learn photography, or either they are appointing some photography professionals for their media, because a photographer is important for a journalist. In journalism, the photography is more important. Okay, documentary photography tells a story without changing the fact. This is what's important. Okay, I told you that. So it can be a portrait or landscape. That also, remember that a good documentary photograph makes you wonder that the story is behind the picture. What type of a story behind the picture? So you have to wonder that. So you have to get to know that. You have to understand that, and also without, rather than just looking on a picture and just saying a picture, this is beautiful. So if someone willing to tell the story behind the picture, even they are not knows the story, that is what the best documentary okay. So that is what. So what stories can you tell with your camera? So this is also important, right? So there are stories. So we tell stories for others. We'll say you are capturing an image. You are capturing an image of a wedding or couple, a wedding couple. So by using that picture, you can tell thousands of story about their past life, if they was in relationship before marriage, so either after married, how they gonna live, and also are they happy or not? So what about their family members, whatever? So completely you can tell a story, right? And also once other side, so when you take tour or trip photographs, okay, when you going for an outing, so when you take a photograph showing, okay, anyhow, usually we used to create stories, creating or describing or letting others know about a story is how we used to. We used to tell stories by using photographs, right, Ivan? So we'll say, so when I wanted to explain about my campus, or either when I wanted to explain about my house, or when I wanted to explain about my vehicle, I used to show a picture. So I will use to show when it's come to a vehicle, I will show the outside of the vehicle and I'll show the interior and seats and the music sets, everything in a picture, in pictures. I will show the picture and then I'll explain and I'll tell about the stories. When it's come to tours and outings also like that, right? You used to do that because so without a picture you can explain and also you can give a knowledge the audience or the people who are listening to you. But rather than just telling stories, when you are showing a picture that will be more accurate, and also they will get to know accurately about the tour or whatever. Okay, and then the contrast is more important. So we'll be learning this in IS also in briefly. I told you we'll be learning about Apache and also ISO and shutter speed. So in that ISO also we'll be learning this. Don't worry, we'll be learning briefly. Okay, done. So what is a contrast then? Contrast refers to the brightness between the light and shadow areas of a picture. Okay, so we'll say you are okay. So every picture it will have a contrast. So once you are taking the picture, you can control the contrast, or either you have to edit it as you want. Okay, to make a picture into a good quality, you'll be needing to edit that picture. And also the contrast level must be in a level. Okay, so that means we'll say you are needing shadows or you are not needing shadows. Okay, so when you increasing the brightness level, it will hide. See, it will try to hide the shadows and all. When you decrease the contrast level, it will shows, okay, it will shows the shadows into a bright view. That means we'll say, so in a picture, when you decreasing a contrast, when you decrease, okay, in show when we are editing the pictures, when I explaining how to edit pictures in phones, okay, in iPhone, in iPhone also we do have contrast, and as I told you, snapsheet, and even in Photoshop also we do have. So when you decrease uh, up to a certain level, after a certain level of a contrast, it will try to hide the object. Brightness level will be low and less. So it will try to show even an object like an shadow. So even though there is an object, not only a shadow, so the object also will be shown and also changing into a shadow view. Okay, so for an example, we'll say there are two human in a picture, and also it is an very sunny day, and also with the sunlight you have taken. So there is a shadow also in that picture. We'll see. So in that picture, we'll say in that picture. Give me a minute, guys. Getting a call, please. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, okay, guys, sorry. So when you decrease contrast, okay, so a little bit more, it will the picture will shows like a shadow. Okay, when you increasing the contrast level, the objects will be more clear and more dark, and the shadows will hide, try to hide. That is what I was explaining. Done. So and then does it have contrast in the picture I have given you? Does it have contrast? Or what direction is the light on the trees coming from? So that means we will say from the backside of the trees and also the front side also there are some lights, right? So that's why the shadow is trying to like it's getting mixed. So it's like the both the sides, front view and also the back view with the trees do have lights. So in the center portion of the road or the pathway, it is it's like more dark, right? So when you decrease the contrast, you can make this picture into a nice view, and also you can mm, yeah, decrease the shadow darkness and make this picture much better by adjusting the contrast. Okay, so don't worry, we'll be learning this practically, and also I'll show, and also when we are editing you will be gaining more knowledge related to contrast and all. So and then what is contrast? Okay, so contrast is the difference between light and shadow. So think about a flashlight in a dark room. Okay, so uh, right. So don't think about the zebras and pianos. So not like that, but like we'll say a light coming from a dark room. So when you are okay being in a dark room, so the most useful and also most easily understandable example, when it is a power cut, when you wanted to take photograph, you when you use your camera or either when you use your mobile phone, you will be using a flashlight, right? You'll be using a flashlight. So when the flashlight is giving the light for a picture, okay, it will try to show more dark view and also it will shows the shadows and all more dark. Okay, so in that time you can adjust the contrast. You can edit the contrast to make a picture. Okay, so when there is more lighting, the shadows will be highlighted, right? So to decrease the shadows and also to control the lightings and to make a picture into a nice view, you will adjust the contrast. That is what conclusion. Okay, so that is what. So and then so as we learned, okay, in the composition we have learned in last class also I was explaining this. So compositions, role of third, and also central focus. We have learned. Point of view. So eye level and above level, below level. So this is important. So in mobile photography, I was explaining this. but in this session I was not. So that's why I wanted to explain. Okay, fine. We'll say uh, eye level is important to a picture, the point of view. Okay, so when it's come to taking a photograph of an animal, or either we'll say like a lizard or something. So you have to, when you take that picture into eye level, that will give a marvelous view. So, and when it's come to a basketball game, or either football, or either some cricket match or something, so above view will be more perfect. When it is an Aragale, or either when it is in like a okay, so when it's like an group of people, okay, so shouting or something, like our Sri Lankan Aragale. So in that you have to take photographs in the below level, because there might be uh, the number of people, high number of people, and also so there will be more people, so you have to cover everyone. For that you can go for a below view. Okay, so okay, fine. So and then so proximity is very important. Okay, so don't be shy to get closer to your subject. That means we'll say there are some people, okay, when they wanted to take photographs, they are feeling like shy. When we'll say when male, when you wanted to take a photo of a next gender, okay. When a boy wanted to take a picture of a girl, if she's his girlfriend or wife or mother or sister, he won't be hesitating, or he won't be he won't become shy. So when it come to taking a photograph, often the woman, so we'll say even a stranger's photograph. So when you're traveling on a bus or a train, when you are going for a trip or outing, so when you saw a beautiful girl, okay, for the boys, and for the girls also, when you saw a beautiful boy, okay, or a handsome boy, so you won't go in front of him or go in front of her, take a photograph. So you won't go near with your camera or either your mobile phone. They will slap you. So that's what will happen, right? But boys won't slap you, because boys are, yeah, very lovely, and also boys are kind-hearted, so they won't slap. But just think and imagine. So when the girls who are here, so just imagine like some someone, okay, like a stranger. So they are trying to take a photograph of you, and he's coming near to you with the camera. Means what you will do? Okay, without thinking, you will slap him. So that's why here, when you are taking a photograph, you want to take a photograph, so just ask from them. I wanted to take a photograph of you. You are very beautiful, or something. And then let them know. So I wanted to cover you fully, and also I wanted to take a proximate photo of you. So can I get closer to you, or either can I come closer to you to take a picture? So please get closer to the subject to get proximate images. Okay, so proximity is very important. So you be consider that. And contrast, role of third, point of view, and proximity are tools to help you master the art of photography. So there are, okay, point of view is important, and if it is in rule of third and contrast, and there are compositions. Not only rule of third, there are compositions, right? Compositions are important, contrast is important, and point of view and proximity is very important. Okay, that's why I was explaining. So let me tell about that again. A contrast to control the coloring, control the shadow, control the darkness, and a control between light and the shadow. Okay, so rule of third or the compositions, there are compositions as you all know. So you have to, okay, so you have to decide whatever the composition you want to select, and have you taken and chosen, and also have you decided to take photographs in a composition which is perfect for the occasion or the situation. Point of view. okay, eye level or the above level, below level, which you have chosen and also which you have decided, that is suitable for the picture or not. It's also important. Proximity, proximity, take the picture rather than blurring, rather than blubbering, or rather than smudging. So rather than shaking the cameras, you just try to get proximate images with the proximity. Okay, so that is what, that is very important. Fine. So one should really use the camera as thought. To tomorrow you would be stricken blind. Okay, so that means okay, just a thought I have, and also just a thought I have shared for you people. So this is what the basics and also the basic things. So there are. Okay, now I just need you people to ask some questions, and I'll explain you. And also, if you're having any doubts, please ask me. So I'm going to move to the next part. So before moving, I'll give 5 to 10 minutes for you people. So you can go through in my presentation. So the main thing, so I have explained these landscape and portrait or documentary images, and I taught you about contrast and the compositions also we have learned, and then we have learned the point of view and proximity. So the most important things of photography. So please guys, so if you're having any doubts, please let me know, and then I can help you, and we can move to the next part. So I'll give 5 to 10 minutes for you people. You can unmute your mic, or either you can drop me a message on the chat box. Okay, guys. So you people are not really talking. So it's difficult to me to do the session. So you people have to talk. It means I'm not going to stop the session. So I'm going to explain continuously. So I'm going to explain. So that's okay. But you people have to talk with me. When you just drop me a message on chat box, that will be helpful for me. And also that's what the support I need from yourself. Okay, done. Today anyhow we're going to start. Yeah, today anyhow we're going to start editing, photo editing. So then in there I will be explaining you the aperture and ISO and all other topics I will be explaining. So don't worry. Fine. Mm, Yeah, sorry. I was searching the setup. Okay, fine. So it's getting open. So it's running. So today we are going to learn the Photoshop initially. We'll be learning Photoshop initially. Um, okay. So you might know about the Photoshop. So most of the photographers, even in studios, okay. So in photo labs, they do use Photoshop for the to make a picture into a good quality. So you might know that. Let me share the screen. Okay, done. This is what the initial interface of the Photoshop. So by using this application or software only, we're going to edit our photographs and we're gonna edit photos and also make the photos into a much quality by using Photoshop. So the tools, we'll be learning some of the important tools and how to use those tools and also flexibly when you wanted to use those tools easily. So how you have to handle them, we're gonna discuss that too. So here, anyhow, we have to have an source file. Initially, we have to have a source file before editing. So when you editing a picture, you will open, yeah, you will open and you will go editing right the part. When it is designing a logo or either designing a banner or a poster, so you have to decide the size of the poster or the photo or the banner. So and then you have to open a source file. The file new. So in that there are some options. So in the first initial, you have a name. You have to give a name for your file or the source file. You have to give a name, and usually we used to choose preset as custom, and then width and height will be pixels. So you have to decide how should be the width and height. So 800 by 800 means it's like a square. Okay. So and then it will shows the resolution according to the width and height. It will shows. So the resolution will be pixels and inches. Okay. So and then color components you might know. So we learn in brief also. So grayscale bitmap we won't use bitmap much. So that I don't need to explain that. And grayscale is what the black and white. When you wanted to edit a black and white image, the background also should be a black and white, right? So that's why we'll choose a grayscale. So and then when you wanted to print out, okay, when you wanted to take photographs, if it is a source file you are creating for the printouts, means you have to choose CMYK, or either if you are if you're gonna use that in only in soft screens or displays, or either if you're gonna use in only in social media, means RGB, red green blue colored with one. So usually we used to use RGB, and anyhow it is an 8-bit. So and then background you can choose a color or either white or either blank transparent color. So anyhow we have to choose white, and then you have to give OK. Will give you the exact size which you have given, and it will gives you a blank source file for your editing works. Okay, fine. So here we'll say, so there are tools and also there are options, and also initially when you wanted to edit a picture, a background of a picture photo, so there what you have to do is you will be using selection tools. Okay, this is, we are calling this tool as moving tool, move tool. So to move an object or either something which you have selected, or you want to, when you want to cut or copy something, to move that object you will be using move tool. The second one, the default default selection tool. In that, when you right click on that, you will be having rectangular and circle shape, or either there are some shapes which is standard and also default. You cannot change that, but you can increase and decrease the sizes. But that would be a rectangular or a circle or a shape which they have given in a standard. So, and then there are three tools we'll be using for the selection: lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. These are the three tools, three basic tools we'll be using. So I will be teaching you, and also we will be discussing and demonstrating about these three tools. So by using a project. So I will be explaining these tools through projects. So and then you will be learning and also getting an idea briefly. So just now I'm giving an idea initially, like an introduction. Okay. So in this quick selection tool, we'll be using this also. So I'll tell you and also I'll let you know about so these tools, because anyhow coming uh 3 to 4 session or minimum 3 sessions, I will be teaching you about the Photoshop, and then only we'll be learning the other stuffs of photography, because editing and arranging and color managing, all those things are very important in photography, right? And then crop tool, there are four types of crop tools: just to crop, and perspective crop, or either slice tool or slice selection tool. We learned that also, so I'll teach you inshallah. So and then we'll say, so color picker or ruler or note. So most of the time we'll use ruler, and color picking tools we'll be using. So I'll let you know. And spot healing and healing brush tool, patch tool. So to cover a patch or hide something, okay, which is highlighted in an image, you can hide that by using this tool. Okay, so these are the initial tools we'll be using, and also clone tool to create an object artificial. That means we'll say the right side you do have a person who is your brother, so you wanted to make him into twin. Like you wanted in your left side also you are needing the brother's picture, like they are twin. So for that we'll be using clone. So I'll teach you that. So practically when we use, you will be understanding that. The history brush tool. So and then this tool, eraser tool, we'll be using eraser tool, and also color tool, coloring options with the coloring gradient or paint bucket or 3D material drop. So in that we'll be using gradient. Mostly we'll be using gradient. And to blur, sharp or smudge, so we'll be using this tool. So inshallah, don't worry. So we will be learning this practically. It means I'll show you how to use and how we can make these tools efficient, and also how you can use this professionally. So we'll learn that also. Text tool. Okay, when it's come to typing a text on an image or a photo, we're using this text tool. So these are the basic tools, and also there are tabs also. In file tab, we do have to create a new source file or open existing file, or there are options: open as, or serve as, or close the tabs, or to close. So export, import, all the options are in the file tab. And edit tab, there are copy and paste or paste special, or either there are some additional options to edit your source file or your image. And then image mood and adjustments are the main thing you have to control. And adjustments we'll be learning most of the options here raw. So because in a picture you might have seen vibrance and also color balance. When it's a color balance, so exposure and also curves, levels are the main thing to control the color or lighting. Brightness, to control the brightness or contrast, we'll be learning levels, curves, and exposure. Okay, so these things are important, as I told you in the previous presentation. And then we learn about the layers and types and selection. So in selection, we'll be learning color range to control or select or pick a color range. We'll be learning that also. So, and then filter. Filter, 3D view, all those tabs I will be explaining. Okay, so don't worry, I will be explaining one by one with the project. So if you are, it's okay, only one, only, okay, okay, okay. So that is what, for the people who are attending the session through session recording. The people who are attending the session through session recordings, please guys, I have given my number. You do have my contact number. So you no need to worry about your photography career or to become a professional photographer. So please attend every session without missing. Okay, people are not attending the session regularly, so but don't miss the sessions. Okay, they are providing session recordings, so please guys attend the session even through the session recording. Okay, so that will be helpful for you people to complete the course and also to learn something without, rather than having only certificates, will be able to learn something efficiently, and also you'll be able to use that knowledge also. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a nice day. And the people who are attending the session through session recording, please ask me for the doubts. If you're having any doubts or something, you can contact me through WhatsApp. I have given my number. Have a nice day and a very good morning for everyone.